friends! Welcome back to Seeking Out Sunshine and my April 2026 completed pages. This is my second time doing completed pages with all of you, and I'm super excited. My month looked a little bit different than what I had anticipated at the beginning of the month, but that's okay. I had a lot more travel coloring happening between being at my kids' events, practices, and then having a lot of time in the hospital with my mom. And so the books that I planned on coloring really aren't books that I usually take with me places. Those are more books that I keep here, so I have all the various art supplies that I want at my fingertips. And then I have books that I throw in my bag to take with me with a minimal amount of supplies to color with. And that's kind of what the month was. It was more of coloring on the go. But I'm really excited. I have about 12 coloring pages and a couple art journals to show you. And yeah, so let's get into it. All right, so the first book I'm going to show you is in Posh Coloring Book, Artful Designs for Fun and Relaxation. And the first one I did in this book was this page. And this was just such a fun, mindless coloring activity. I really wanted to test out my new tempera paint sticks that I got by King Art, and I absolutely loved them. And then I thought it was also a perfect page to try out the technique of the glitter effect, because I had not done that on a page yet. So I had a lot of fun doing this page and just playing with those, and it just really felt so childlike. I did a little bit of a border with some washi tape here and just had a great time. I actually probably see myself going back and using this page as some type of journal page in the future, but that is where we're at as of now. The second page, if you saw one of my my second weekly whip Strokes of Sunshine video, at the end of those videos, I like to do what I call Rays of Sunshine, and it is a little time where we pull a card and we do some focus and just check back in with ourselves. I'm really working on that mindfulness time in my life and trying to reconnect with my spirit, and art journaling is a fun way of kind of combining those two things. So the card that we had a couple weeks ago was, I cherish every cell in my body, and my hope was to get back to this and do some journaling of how that week I had done. Just that, cherished every cell in my body, but that was the week that my mom was sent to the hospital after her fall. So I haven't gone back to this one, but again, I do plan to use that one. And then I have a new one from this past week. You'll have to check out my Weekly Lips Strokes of Sunshine video, episode 3, if you want to see that one. But it's just a great time, and it's something that I continue to plan to do. So I hope you will join me over at those weekly videos. I'd love to have you as part of that community too. But yeah, so those are my art journal pages. Just a time to play. I like this book. It's got lots of different options for just some playfulness and some creation. And I look forward to seeing what it all becomes in the future. All right, the next book is Nightfall, and this is by Maria Troll, I don't know. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm so sorry. But this is the first page. And again, in one of my weekly whips, I colored with acrylic pens. I had seen a couple wonderful colorists try this, and I wanted to try it too, and it was so much fun. And so it was a very simple page that I practiced on and showed in that video, and then I went on later to do the butterfly, and I'm in a rhinestone mood, guys. So this month I added lots of rhinestones to my pages. But the butterfly is mostly watercolors and a little bit of gel pen. But all of the leaves and the flowers are with the acrylic mango pens, and then a little bit of glitter gel pen on those, and a little bit of pencil on the flowers as well. So that is that page. And then my second page in this book is this one. And I just wanted to play with my Neocolors. I had not done a lot with my Neocolor twos, and so this was the whole purpose of this page, was to play with them and have fun. And I am seeing that I am in a purple and green mode because a lot of my pages have that color scheme. But anyway, so I did the background with Neocolor twos, and then I did some splatters. You can see there's some splatter with the Neocolor twos. And then I went in with a stencil and my King Art gel crayons to do this circular bokeh effect on the background. Then the flowers are all with Prismacolors, and then a little bit of glitter gel pen throughout. So again, pretty simple, straightforward page, but just really wanted to kind of play with some of the supplies that I'm still getting used to using. So those were my pages in Nightfall. Next, I did a page in Doodle Designs, and this was on another Weekly Whips video where I took the dopamine coloring with the Crayola Super Tips that Erica at Colors had shown and tried it out for myself. So on episode 1 of my Weekly Whips, I showed the process of putting down the Crayola Super Tips and then spraying it with the water and seeing that effect. And then when it dried later on that week, I went back to it and added more Super Tips on top and colored pencils and glitter gel pens and some Langlo gel pens. And of course, I told you I'm in a rhinestone mood this month, so you're going to see lots of rhinestones on it. But I had so much fun with this page, and it really kind of set off the month for me, just wanting to play, to not have a lot of expectations for myself, but just to create and have fun and just be free in that process. And this page definitely helped me feel free and let go of that perfection that I sometimes carry with me when I am doing an art project or creating something. So I really love the color palette that this was. These colors were fun, and I will definitely be trying the dopamine coloring again. My next completed page is from Cozy Cuties Cute and Comfy Coloring Book by Coco Wyo. And for this month, I completed this page. I had picked a color palette for this page, and once I had gotten my set supplies, I went to my Ohuhu markers first, alcohol markers first, and picked out the colors, and just kind of started the page. It went super duper fast. It was so fun. Perfect for April with the little bunny and the chick for Easter. I had also gotten a cloud stencil that I wanted to try, and I used my King Art gel crayons in the background to do that, and that was so fun, blending those colors together and just kind of working with those in a different way. But other than that, there's a little bit of some glitter gel pen on there and some Langlo acrylic pens just for a couple outline things. And then I did use my Art glitter white pen on the bumblebees. I've never gotten to use a glaze pen. I see those all the time, and they're so awesome. And that's like the closest I have found to what I see others use. So use that on those little bee wings. But yeah, it was really fun. I love these pages. They just are a great palette cleanser, and they just make me happy. All right. The next one is Tropical World, and the page that I completed for this month was this butterfly page. And I had so much fun with this page, but I had no idea how long it was going to take me to finish this. So I based it with my Grabby watercolors, and I used the metallic glitter, the metallic-y colors in the background. And then I based all of the butterflies with eyeshadow. And that has been kind of a new thing for me as well, as just getting out my eyeshadow palettes and coloring with them. I talk about that in this week's weekly Whip Strokes of Sunshine video. And yesterday I was, in the words of Maia, I was love bombing a book with multiple pages of just coloring with eyeshadow for a long time. It was so fun. But all of the butterflies are based in eyeshadow colors, and then I just went on top of them with my Gribby glitter gel pens and my art gel pens and a little bit of pencil shading. But I love how it turned out, and I thought, oh, this is a smaller coloring book. It will go fast. It did not. It was quite a process, but I do love all the sparkle and shine, and the butterflies just turned out beautiful, I think. So that is from Tropical World. The next one is from Color Me Under the Sea, and I took this, we had a soccer game one weekend for my son, and I took this in the car, and I did this page. And so I did all of the basing, as you can see, with alcohol marker, and then when we got home, I got out my CSY metallic watercolors and added a lot of watercolor to the page as well. So I did all of the little wave caps, and then on the mountains, I did some CSY watercolors. And then on the stars, I did some glitter gel pens, and it was just really fun. I have some Prisma colored pencils on here for some shading as well. But I love how this turned out, and this is my first Color Me book, so it's been fun to play in this month. I did 2 pages. So there was that one, and then this was my second one. I just wanted to play with this one. I kind of wanted to see if I could get like the neon coral reef effect going, and I was trying to mix some of my Neocolor 2s on the paper, which was a very interesting process. Not sure how it turned out, but it's okay. I was learning a lot on this page. And then kind of taking some of my Langlo pens and trying to do some outlining. I really love how these turned out. These sponges turned out down here. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those pages that you do and you learn so many things from. So it was a fun time. These Color Me books, I think, are probably I'm going to have more of them added to my collection at some point because they were fun to do. And great pages for the car since they have bigger spaces. You're not worried about like those tiny details when you're riding in a bumpy car. Another book that I took with me this month a lot for my kids' activities and while I was in the hospital with my mom was Mini Mania Coloring Book 5. And the first one, this would be my hot mess of the month, I think, guys. So I picked out this color palette thinking, oh, I'll try something that I never do with a color palette. And this was definitely it. And it's just, I don't know. It's something, guys. I don't know. I don't care for how it turned out. It's just not my thing. I don't know. I was trying to do something with the sun set in the background, or maybe it's a sunrise. I don't know. I think there's way too much red on this bug. Not really a ladybug, but I kind of treated it like a ladybug. Yeah. I don't like the clothes. It's just not my favorite, but it's okay. It was still a good page for me to experiment on and try some new things and not worry about too much as I did it. But another page done. Check. And then the other one I did in this one was this sweet little mushroom house, and I was much happier with how this one turned out. Again, I kind of pushed myself to use some colors that I hadn't been using. And the thing I enjoyed about this was it was my first page that I did solely with a base of Crayola Super Tips. I hadn't done that yet, and after I did my dopamine color with the Super Tips, I really just wanted to play around and see what I could do with them on a page. So that's kind of what I did, and then I went back on with some Castle Art colored pencils and some art gel pens. So it was fun. I like that. I like this one, how it turned out a lot more than the other one. And then I have a little whip in here that I'm working on. I did an example of some makeup coloring on that page in my last video. So if you want to check that out, I'm still working. That one's still a whip, and I'm still working on that one. Next, we have Forest Core Coloring Book. For some reason, that one always gets me tongue-tied. Forest Core. And I did this page. So this page was also featured in one of my weekly whips, obviously. And I just recently finished the butterflies. So I went back and forth on how to color them, but decided to kind of stay within the color scheme that was already on the page with the purples, and then pulling a little bit of the blues and the greens on the page. And then once again, you see more rhinestones this month. So I love that. And I have had people ask me, when you put the rhinestones in, then what happens when you go to color other pages? I haven't found it to be too difficult, really, or if it does feel a little bit bumpy, I'll just put like a cardboard or something underneath the page, or underneath the page I'm working on, so it just gives it a little bit more stability. But I have not had a problem having the rhinestones on there, and they make me so happy. So it is definitely worth it. The background is just an acrylic acrylic marker for the background. All the leaves and branches are watercolors with a little bit of pencil, and then the butterflies are mostly pencils with a little bit of metallic watercolor and gel pen on top. So that is my page in Forest Core Coloring Book. Next, we have A Million Cute Animals by Maia. And I did this sweet Easter page of this bunny. And I did this page to practice using my Derwent ink tints. So everything inside the bunny and the little turtle is based with the ink tints with a little bit of Language gel pens on top. And then the background, the blue part is Neocolor 2s, still trying to figure out how those act on a lot of pages in my books. So kind of played with those a little bit to see how the water medium would react, and then got a stencil out with one of my King Art gel crayons, and then finished off the background with that. But it was a fun, sweet page. And again, perfect for the month of April with Easter. Next, we have another Lulu Mayo book, and this is in A Million Unicorns. And again, I was working on getting better at my ink tints skills, and I did this unicorn and narwhal page, and I love how this turned out. This was so fun to do, and the rhinestones just added so much to the finished project. And I had a lot of fun with the clouds and figuring out what I wanted to do with those spaces. I kind of covered up some of her lines and kind of just went my own way with what I wanted to do. But a majority of this is ink tints with a little bit of pencil shading, and then some white gel pen and a little bit of silver gel pen on a few things, and then yellow to outline the stars, and then lots of rhinestones. So I would think in a unicorn world, there would be a ton of rhinestones everywhere. So super fun. Love that. And again, part of the rhinestoning process is in my first weekly whips Strokes of Sunshine video. So if you want to check out how I do that and what I use, you can check that video out. That was A Million Unicorns by Lulu Mayo. And then my final page for the month is from, Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford. And I finished up a whip I had from last month, and that is this frog lily pad page. All I had left to do was the water, and I had used a stencil with a couple different gel crayons to create that background, and I needed to go on and finish some of the extra shading and the white pen part, the white gel pen part. I just used a Jelly Roll for that, and then some colored pencil shading inside some of the water droplet shapes. But I really like how it turned out. This page was a lot of fun. I used an acrylic marker background for the pink, and then all of the frogs are Prismacolor, the lily pads are watercolor, and then I have a little bit of glitter gel pen throughout with the stars and on the flowers and the hearts. So really happy with how that one turned out, and looking forward to finishing another whip that I have in here, maybe for next month. But so yeah, those are my April pages. Again, it was nothing that I had planned, and I think that that's maybe why I should not have monthly plans, because every time I usually set up plans for something, they go completely astray and never go that way. So maybe this month of May, I'll just say, you know, whenever, come what may, right? And that's what I will do, and we'll see what happens. But I am looking forward to another month of coloring. I hope that you had a beautiful month of coloring or creating or whatever your spirit needed this month. I would love to hear from you in the comments if you had a favorite page, or if you've been inspired to try a new technique or a new coloring book from my video, or just to say hi. I am sending you so much love and sunshine, and I hope that you have a wonderful month ahead. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.